Welcome back into the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Hey, do me a favor. Make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. Take us with you on the go, wherever you get your apps. Download the KDUS AM 1060 app today. Optimistic or optimism, a word that, let's face it, in this town, describing our teams, isn't thrown around very often. It's not a word that is used to describe the feeling among the fan base before a season begins. But it might just be the perfect word to describe how things feel around the Arizona Diamondbacks with the start of the season just a couple of weeks away. And I'm going to point to an example of where that optimism is right now, because The Athletic this morning put out their hope-o-meter for 2025, ranking fans' optimism for all 30 teams. So they went to the readers of The Athletic, compiled 17,000 results, but they just asked one question. Simple. Are you optimistic about your favorite MLB team in 2025? That's the question. Are you optimistic about your team this year in 2025? Overall, 66% of the people said they were optimistic about their team. That is up 2% from 2024 last year. But then you're able to break down by team how optimistic everybody was. And this should be to the shock of nobody, the team that is number one, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 99.7% optimism. I need to meet the people that said, well, I'm not optimistic about being a Dodgers fan. I need to meet the people who are so spoiled as baseball fans, who are so arrogant as baseball fans, that after winning the World Series and being in a good position to have a chance to repeat, and I've said it on this show, have a chance to break the Major League Baseball single season wins record, that you're going to say I'm pessimistic. Now, they have a quote from somebody that they're calling an anonymous pessimist, and this is what they said. It's impossible to be optimistic. We've either broken baseball by spending and winning the World Series, or we're the laughingstock choke artists, excited to find out which we are. You want to talk about somebody who just needs to find a new hobby, needs to pick a new sport to enjoy. If you can't enjoy as a Dodgers fan this, I don't know if you can enjoy sports. 99.7% optimism. Last year, they were 96.7. That ranked 6th. The year before that, 75.6. That ranked 16th. So a trend in the right direction for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But this might surprise some of you. The team at number 2, right on the heels of the Dodgers. Remember, the Dodgers, 99.7% optimism. The team right behind them at number 2, your Arizona Diamondbacks. 99.4% optimism. Only one team's fan base, according to The Athletic in this survey that they did, only one team's fan base was more optimistic about 2025 than the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it is the defending World Series champions. And I don't blame you if you participated in this, or if you listening to this program agree with this sentiment. I can't blame you one bit. I have tried. I'll pull the curtain back a little bit on the show. I have spent a lot of time talking to a lot of different people about the show, about the teams, all just behind the scenes trying to get better. And one of the things I keep saying to everybody is that I am very excited for baseball season to start, because I'm excited to talk about this team on a regular basis. Talking about the Phoenix Suns on a regular basis, it's not all that enjoyable. It's not all that fun at times to talk about that basketball team. I'm excited about baseball season because I think there's going to be a lot more winning than there is losing, and there's going to be a team that is relevant in baseball's bigger picture, and I'm excited to be a part of that journey. I'm excited to cover this on a regular basis with you all, to share my opinions, my takes on what Torey Lovello does or a player's performance and changing up the lineup. I'm excited to do that with you all every single day throughout the baseball season. So you can put me right here in this optimistic camp. And I'm not doing it to be performative. I'm not doing it because I don't believe in it. I fully believe that this team is the real deal. I'm excited about what this rotation is going to look like, specifically Burns and Gallen at the front end of this rotation. I'm excited to see what Josh Naylor provides. I think a Corbin Carroll resurgence is on the horizon. Ketel Marte, the star that nobody talks about in baseball. Lourdes Gurriel with power. Suarez found it in the second half. You have a top prospect that's just kind of hovering over all of this and could provide that spark in the second half in Jordan Lawler. You have all the ingredients of a recipe of a fun summer. So yeah, put me on this list. 99.4% optimism for the Diamondbacks. And oh, by the way, that's more optimistic than this survey had in 2024 after the team went to the World Series. It was 97.3% optimism. They were third in this survey last year. They then miss the playoffs altogether. They lose Christian Walker and Jock Peterson in free agency, and yet their optimism among the fan base goes up, and I can feel it. Anybody I talk to about the Diamondbacks, anybody that I talk to about this team is like, I can't wait. Corbin Burns. I'm excited. And I just keep reminding everybody, keep an eye on Josh Naylor. He's going to become your favorite Diamondback before you know it. I just try to sneak that in everywhere I can get. But there is a buzz, there's an excitement, there is an optimism, and it is seen here. The only team that had a fan base, and not by much, 0.3%. The only fan base. That should have been 100 for the Dodgers. It wasn't. It was 99.7. The only team in front of the Diamondbacks. The only team. The team that won the World Series. So you're bought in too. You've seen the moves that they've made, and you're excited. You're optimistic. You agree with the direction that this team is going in. And now you're going to get to see it on display. It's going to be a tough task. The Dodgers are the defending champs, and there's no reason to think that they're going to slow down. So you have to bring that fight. You have a team in your division behind you that are also going to be threatening. Not a lot of optimism there amongst those teams. You have San Diego, who is 16th on this list. Trying to find where San Francisco was. They ended up being 20th, 58.6% optimism. So you got teams, fan bases that are not as optimistic as you are, and maybe it ends up being foolish optimism, but I don't think so. We'll do our baseball predictions later on this month, so producer Corey can have those for the soundboard. But I'll do them because I do them every year. Spoiler alert, I'm going to have the Diamondbacks finishing second in the National League West. I just am. And you can feel the buzz around this team. You can feel it. You can feel the buy-in from the fans because they've seen the buy-in from the front office. They've seen the buy-in from the ownership. And it says so much that the Diamondbacks fan base is just as optimistic, basically, as the Los Angeles Dodgers who won the World Series. That, to me, says it all. That, to me, is the perfect indication of how things are going here in Arizona with this team. So we don't use the word very often, but I think it applies, and the fan base is feeling it as well. And that word is optimism surrounding the Arizona Diamondbacks for this upcoming season.